Hello everybody, I am Little Fury Gaming, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a low poly mountain in Blender 3.1. So Blender is complicated if you don't know how to do it, but this is a very simple way to make low poly mountains, and I assure you, you can scale them up, do whatever you want, and there's multiple techniques that you can do to, well, make them better. So there are two main designs that I've used for these low poly mountains, and it's circular and square. So circular is kind of like a cone, but we don't actually use the cone shape. So what you're going to do is hit Shift A, add in a mesh, add in a circle. Now down here there's going to be a little tab that says add circle. You want to click on that arrow and make sure the vertices are at 8, and if it isn't already. Next, you're going to tab into edit mode, make sure you are on the vertice select. Now you're going to hit E and Z to extrude. You're going to bring that up, then you're going to hit S to scale down until you've got a relatively conish shape. Next, you're going to hit
really well
E
done.
and Z to go up, and then you're going to scale down again.
You know the phrase, cross the T's and dot the I's?
And now we have a full
When you're done writing it
mountain.
first, you need to go back and
So now this is where it gets a little
with
more
I and
complicated.
cross the T, right? So
Where
you
now
just
you're going to
like
hit,
that.
now you're going to hit Control R, and this is to add in an edge loop.
Nice.
You want to add that, then double click,
Am I supposed to
and
answer your
there will
question?
be now
I
a
like
cut
reclining.
in your mountain. You're going to want to keep adding those, and you're going to add one down here. So now we have a bunch of cuts in our mountain. I'm going to tell you why we want these, and that's so that we can get the snowish color onto the top of our mountain. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select the entire object by dragging our cursor along this, and we're going to hit Shift, and we're going to go to the other side by using our middle mouse button to orbit, and then going to go all the way around and make sure all the vertices are selected, and then we're going to hit Control T to triangulate. And now we have all these little triangles in our mountain that will help us add in that snow shape. So now we're going to get a little more complicated, and over here we're going to go down to this little tab with the circle and this little spherical shape. And now we're going to click this button, and we're going to hit New. Then we're going to turn this color to a grayish color, and it's already assigning it. Now we're going to create a new material, another new one. We're going to drag this all the way up here to white. So we're still in edit mode, and we're going to go into face lock. You can hit 3. You can hit 3 on your keyboard, or you can just come up here and click this one here with the white square. Now we're going to hold Shift on our keyboard, and then we're going to select all of these faces so we can add our snow into the mountain. And if you accidentally hit a different face, you just keep holding Shift, and you can unhold Shift at any time. Just make sure that when you're clicking, you are still holding Shift. Now, you can also hold Shift and drag and select more faces at a time, just to do it a little bit faster. And if you accidentally select some faces, you just hold Shift and unselect them. So this is a pretty good mountain in itself, and we just want to look around, make sure we didn't miss anything. Now we're going to go to this material, and we're going to click Assign. And if you notice that you don't see the materials, make sure that you are in your render mode. So you'll probably be in this mode, which is the solid mode, and you want to go bring your cursor up here and go into this mode or this mode. And either one works, but one is how it'll look when it's rendered. Okay, so now we have a pretty good low poly mountain, and you can bring down those faces, and you can get more faces if you want it to be if you want the snow line to be pretty low. And you can just select some of those. Then you can assign it again. That wrong material, just make sure you're on material, and then you can assign, and boom, now it's even more snowy. And you can see that this is hollow. I wouldn't worry about it, but if you really are too worried about it, then you can go to vertice select, which is you can hit 1 on your keyboard, or you can just come up to here and click it. I'm gonna hold shift. I'm going to select all of these, and just gonna hit F to fill, and you can assign that material, and then boom, it's filled, and now we have our mountain with honestly not very much in it. So yeah. Okay, so now that we have our cone mountain, we come up with our cursor here. We're going to go over there. We're going to tab to head into object mode. We're going to go Shift A. Now we're going to add the plane. Just bring this up real quick with G and Z in case it's below. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tab into edit mode, and we're going to hit extrude. And we're going to bring it up. Then we're going to hit S to scale it down. Then we're going to hit E again to extrude up. And we're going to hit S and scale it down to the tiniest little point that you can get. Now if you don't like it, or if you don't think it's like you want this part to be steeper than the base. So if you don't think it's significantly steeper, what you can do is you can hold shift, you can grab these vertices, and then you can make sure you have these vertices unselected. Hang on. Just make sure you're out of your cursor mode. Unselect those vertices. Now what you want to do is select all of these vertices that are in the middle, and you can scale them down to make it more pointy or whatever you want. And we accidentally selected that vertice, so wait, why is there even a oh, there we go. Okay, well, yeah. And now we're going to hit Control R like we did for the other mountain, and it's not selected. Never mind, we have to select it first. Select that, and then Shift select that, and Shift select that. Okay, now once we have the whole mountain selected, what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control R and run an edge, or never mind. We're going to hit Control R, run an edge loop through, and make sure you run an edge loop through the sides, since this doesn't have as many vertices as the circular one does. So then once we have those two edge loops, we're just going to add the other edge loops through here. And now we have some good cuts in our mountain. Now we're going to select all of these vertices like we did before. Make sure we have all of them. And then we're going to hit Control T to triangulate. And now we have the same shape that we did with the circular. And now we're going to start adding in, so hit 3 on your keyboard, or come up here and select it to go into face select, and we're going to go over here back to this little material tab, and we're going to hit this button here, and we're going to add in these materials are just like placeholders, so don't worry about them. And we're going to add in new materials, and we're going to get our snow and other materials Here, so now we're just gonna start selecting and selecting until we get what we want for the snow, what faces we want. And make sure you have all the faces you want. It's not too big of a deal if you get ones that you don't want, but it's just nice to not have to select them and then assign a new material. And then, yep. Okay, make sure you have all your faces selected, and go to this material and click assign. Now we have our two little mountains, and same with the other one. You can just go to boo. You can click these ones and just bring the snow down until you have what you want. Sign. Okay, so now for editing these mountains, for making them a lot bigger, you can go into object mode and then hit S to scale and just make it way bigger. So that's a pretty good low poly mountain. Then and you can scale them really big. Another thing that you can do is that you can tab into edit mode, make sure you can hit 1 on your keyboard or go to vertice select, and then what you can do is go to proportional editing up here, hit connected only, and make sure that's on. And what you can do is you can hit G on your keyboard to move something, and then you can hit Shift Z and play around with those vertices to make some cool features on your mountain. Just like that. So now, like, this part of the mountain is bulging out and is larger than. If you don't want to move something up, then you can hit G Shift Z, and that will just move it on the X and Y axis.
I'm going to quiz you.
And then you can hit GZ if you just want to move something up. And you can add different little variations to the mountains whenever you want. So that was how to make two different styles of low poly mountains. There are tons more that I could do, but thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.